Ngayon ay ating alamin kung ano ang MARPOL Annex 3, kung ano ang kanyang layunin, mga tuntunin at ang IMDG Code Volume 1 and 2. Ako, si Christian Kurt Calma, nagpapahayag patungkol sa layunin. Going to talk about the purpose of Annex 3. The purpose of Annex 3 is to prevent the pollution of the marine environment by harmful substances transported by sea. It establishes regulations for number 1, classification of hazardous chemicals, identifies and categorizes substances that pose risk to marine life and human health. And second is labeling and documentation. Requires proper labeling and documentation for chemicals, ensuring safe handling and transport. And third is disposal procedures. Sets guidelines for the safe disposal of chemicals to minimize environmental impact. And fourth is training and preparedness. Mandates training for crew members on handling hazardous materials and responding to emergencies. Overall, Annex 3 of MARPOL 7378 plays a critical role in safeguarding marine environments by regulating the transport of hazardous substances. Its comprehensive approach to classification, labeling, documentation, disposal, training, and compliance helps mitigate risk associated with chemical pollution at sea, contributing to healthier oceans for ecosystem. Ang Annex 3 ay bahagi ng MARPOL Marine Pollution, isang international na kasunduan na naglalayong bawasan ng pollution sa karagatan mula sa mga barko. Tinutukoy nito ang mga kinakailangang hakbang upang maprotektahan ang tubig mula sa mga hazardous chemicals na maaaring magdulot ng pinsala sa mga organismo at ekosistema. Sa kabuuan, ang Annex 3 ay nagbibigay ng detalyadong balangkas para sa ligtas na transportasyon ng mga chemical na naglalayong protektahan ang kapaligiran at kalusugan ng tao. Ang pagsunod sa mga regulasyon na ito ay mahalaga upang maiwasan ang mga aksidente at mapanatili ang kalinisan ng mga karagatan. Ngayon, tayo ay makibalita kay Manong Ansyado.
Prevention of pollution by harmful substances carrying at sea in package form. The prevention of pollution by harmful substances carrying at sea in package form is a critical issue that involves various international regulations, practices, and technologies aimed at safeguarding marine environment. Annex 3. This regulation identify marine pollution. Ito yung nagpupuyod sa ating marine life para maiwasan din ang hindi inaasahang pangyari sa ating sa dagat, and para magamot yung less harmful package marine ecosystem and human health. Package, the word of package, ibig sabihin nakapak na siya, tinutukoy dito, ito transport sa atin na nakapak na. Maliit siya, hindi siya yung pang malakihan o bultuan. Regulatory frameworks, the primary regulatory frameworks governing the transportation of harmful substances at sea is the International Maritime Organization, or IMO, and its convention, particularly the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, or MARPOL. Packaging standards. Proper packaging is essential in preventing leaks or spills during transportations. Mahalaga din maayos yung pagkapak natin ng packaging para maiwasan ng pagtapon o pagtagas, and para safe din siya matransport. Training and awareness. Training personnel involved the handling of hazardous material is vital for ensuring compliance with safety protocols. Mahalaga din ang tamang training para maiwasan natin ang disgrasya sa trabaho. And we should always to follow safety protocols to maintain safety in the workplace. Monitoring and compliance. Monitoring compliance with regulation is essential for preventing pollution. Monitoring and compliance. Proper monitoring is also important to prevent pollution. Halimbawa, yung packaging natin, hindi siya maayos. Hindi maayos yung pagkapak natin. It can be spill and lead to significant problems or pollution. Technological innovation. Adjustment in technology are increasingly being utilized to enhance safety measures. Kailangan din bago yung kagamitan natin sa trabaho. And para safe din tayo at maayos ang trabaho natin. In conclusion, preventing pollution by harmful substances carried at sea in package from requires a multiple-phase approach involving strict regulatory frameworks to packaging standards. The comprehensive training programs for personnel, diligent monitoring practices, and leveraging technological innovations. Tinutukoy dito na mahalaga ang maayos na trabaho para mabawasan ang panganib sa karagatan. Proper packaging to protect marine environment inspection and monitoring of cargo condition help practices and emergency response enhance preparedness and reduce human error.
Ngayon, pakinggan naman natin ang pahayag ni Manong Ramos patungkol sa definition of terms o ng mga tuntunin ng Annex 3.
Definition of terms in Annex 3 MARPOL 7378. It contains some harmful substances. These substances identified as harmful to the marine environment and subject to specific transport regulation. Ito daw po yung mga chemical o materyales na mapanganib sa kapaligiran ng dagat. Pangalawa, package form refers to the harmful substances that are transported in packaging, portable tanks, freight. Ito naman ay tumutukoy sa mapanganib na substansya na dinadala mga mapanganib na substansya na dinadala ng package form. Tulad na lang ng sa mga lalagyan ng portable tanks, freight containers o iba pang lalagyan. Regulation means the regulation contains the annexes to the present convention. Ibig sabihin ay nangangahulugan na ang mga regulasyon ay naglalaman ng mga annexes sa mga kasalukuyang convention. Discharge. Ito naman ay nagre-relation sa harmful substances or effluent containing such substances means ang release how cover cost from a ship. Ayon sa discharge, ito ay nag-uugnay ng mga mapaminsalang substance o effluent na naglalaman ng naturang substance. Next is packaging. Any container or vessel designed to contain harmful substances for transport by sea. Packaging under under Annex 3 must meet IMDG code standards to prevent leakage, spillage, and accidental discharge during transit. And ibig sabihin po nito ay anumang lalagyan o sisidlan ng dinisenyo upang maglaman ng mapanganib na substansya para sa pagdadala sa dagat. Ayon sa Annex 3, ang mga pagbalot ay dapat sumunod sa mga pamantayan ng IMDG code upang maiwasan ang pagtagas o aksidenteng paglabas ng nilalaman. Next is pag-label and marketing, pag-label at pagmarka. Ito ay mga kinakailangan sa pagmamarka ng mga lalagyan ng mga lalagyan ng mga nilalaman ng mapanganib na substansya. Dapat maayos na nakalabel ang mga ito upang ipakita ang uri ng panganib tulad ng pagiging nakakalason, madaling mag-apoy o nakakain. Next is pag-iimbak, stowage, pamaraan at lokasyon ng pag-iimbak ng mga mapanganib na substansya sa barko. Kailangan maayos na nakaimbak ang mga ito at hiwalay sa mga hindi angkop ng substansya upang maiwasan ang aksidenteng paglabas. Susunod ay dokumentasyon. Kasama ang mga dokumentong nagpapakita ng detalye tungkol sa mapanganib na substansya, ang klasifikasyon nito at mga hakbang sa paghawak at emergency. Makakatulong ito upang maging handa ang mga tripulante at tauhan ng pantalan sa paghawak sa nilalaman. Next is lastly, ang Annex 3 ay naglalayong magkaroon ng mahigpit na alituntunin sa paghawak, paglabel at pagbalot ng mga mapanganib na substansya upang maiwasan ng paglabas nito sa karagatan at maprotektahan ang kapaligiran sa dagat at mga ecosystem na baybayin.
Ngayon, pakinggan naman natin ano ang IMDG Code Volume 1 and 2. Maaari mo bang ibalita, Aling Zay?
Good day everyone, I am Michipuan Batinga Zarel, and today I will discuss to you the IMDG Code Volume 1 and 2 Supplement. But first, what is IMDG Code? IMDG Code was developed as an international code for the maritime transport for dangerous goods in package form, in order to enhance and harmonize the safe carriage of dangerous goods to prevent the pollution in the environment. IMDG Code Volume 1. Regulations and general provisions, definitions and training, classifications, packing and tank provisions, consignment procedures, construction and testing of packagings, ICVs, large packaging, portable tanks, MEGCs, and road tanks, vehicle and transport. IMDG Code Volume 2. Dangerous goods list special provision for limited and accepted quantities exceptions. So, this Volume 1 and 2, it has to be kept up for the rapid expansion ng mga shipping industries. The provisions of the code should be interest to maritime administration, shipping companies, packers, manufacturers, feeder services such as road, rail, and port authorities. Dangerous goods are classified into 9 classes as follows. Substances and articles subject to the provision of the code are assigned into 1 to 9 classes according to the hazard or the most predominant hazard as they present. So here, we have the 9 classes of hazardous materials. Class 1, explosive. Explosive, any substance or device that can be made to produce a volume of rapidly expanding of gas in an extremely brief period. So, ito yung mga mararahas na malalakas na pagsabog. Halimbawa na nito ang bomba. Siyang karaniwang ginagamit sa mga war o anumang limbang. Iba pang halimbawa nito ang pyrotechnic devices, fireworks, detonators, or ammunition. So here we have class 2 gases. Gases is a substance that is gaseous or vaporous state of matter. The term gas is also used in reference to the state itself when applied to matter that has the properties of a gaseous substance. Naka-include na dito ang oxygen, flammable gas, non-flammable gas, and inhalation gases. So, ang symbol na ito ay kumapahulugan na non-flammable, which is cannot burn or is very difficult to burn. Class 3, flammable liquid and combustible liquid. A flammable liquid is a liquid which can be easily injected in air at ambient temperatures, and it has a flash point or below nominal threshold temperatures defined by a number of national and international standard organizations. Combustible liquid are liquids that have a flash point at pressure that is below at its boiling point. Combustible material ignites with some effort, while flammable material catches fire immediately on exposure to flame. Sa madaling salita, mas mataas ang flash point ng combustible liquid. Subalit, parehas silang ito nakakasunog agad. Class 4. Flammable solid, spontaneously combustible, and dangerous when wet. These are likely to cause fire by self-ignition through friction, description of moisture, spontaneously chemical changes, or as a result of heating. Halimbawa na nito ang matches o posporo. So, Class 5. Oxidizer and organic peroxide. Oxidizer is a chemical that readily yields oxygen in reactions, thereby causing or enhancing combustions, while organic peroxides are thermally unstable substance which may undergo exothermic self-accelerating decomposition. So, ang oxidizer ay mas maaari magbigay ng oxygen sa kailangan para sa apoy. Samantalang, ang organic peroxide ay parehong nagbibigay ng oxygen at fuel source. So, sila ay may pagkasensitibo lalo na kung nasisikatan ng araw. Kontaminasyon sa iba pang materyales lalo na kapag ito ay mabibigat. Karamihan sa organic peroxides ay sensitibo sa temperatura. So, Class 6. Poisons, inhalation hazard. So, these are toxic substances that are volatile and present a gas-phase exposure risk. Halimbawa na nito ang pesticides, na siya'y may kakayahang pumatay, magtaboy at kontrolin ng ilang uri ng mga hayop na itinuturing na peste. So, Class 7. Radioactive. Radioactive, any material that contains unstable isotopes of an element undergoing decay and emitting radiations. So, this uranium here, when isotopes decay, ito ay naglalabas ng isang alpha particle at nagiging isang radioactive, ngunit ito ay another element na. So, next, Class 8, corrosive. A corrosive material is a liquid solid that causes full thickness destructions of human skin at the site of contact within a specified period of time. So, halimbawa na nito ang acid. Next, Class 9, miscellaneous. Substances and articles which during transport present a danger not secured by other classes. So, some examples of Class 9 are polychlorinated biphenyls, adipic acids, and lithium batteries. So that's all the 9 classes of hazardous materials that will help ensure that the properties and risks of material understood the storage, transportation, and handling.
Annex the 3rd concerning harmful substances carried in package form entered into force in July 1992. It pertains to the packaging, labeling, documentation, and stowage of dangerous goods, defining measures to prevent pollution during their transportation.